Welcome to the meeting of the Policy and Finance Committee on Wednesday the 8th of March 2017. The first item of the agenda is apologies, and I understand that we have apologies from Councillor Anne James.
Councillor Anne James, yes. We also have apologies from Councillor David Heritage, who has been substituted by Councillor Rosa Farmer, and Councillor Chris Canfield, who has been substituted by Councillor Michael Weaver.
And thank you both for offering your time. Okay, can I now ask if any member has any declarations of disclosable pecuniary and or personal interest that they may have in relation to items on this agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair, in relation to item 8.3, I have a personal and pecuniary interest to declare in the Harpenden Hopper, as I'm a director of Harpenden Connect, a charity operating the Hopper, and will leave the room for that item.
Okay, I have a declaration with respect to the Harpenden History Society. I am the nominated member from the council on that society, and if I will leave the room. Actually, I cannot take part in the discussion.
What was that one?
Yeah, so that's 8.4. 8.4.
Actually, you just raised something if I did it. I am a member of the Harpenden History Society, nothing else, but should I make a declaration? I don't think I could declare a non-pecuniary interest in that, but I think I would be entitled to sit and debate and vote on that.
I don't think you are.
No, I don't think you are either.
Oh, well, I'm happy to set aside then.
Yeah. No, I don't think you have to leave the room, but you can't debate a vote.
Yes, I don't have to leave the room then on that one, but I will not. I could speak if it were before anyone else, but I can't do anything else then. But I won't speak. I've got no point.
I have to leave the room on mine.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. So, if we move on to item 4, are there any public questions in accordance with Standing Order 64? Can I move on to item 5? And if we look at the minutes of the meeting of the Policy and Finance Committee, which was held at the Town Hall on Monday the 9th of January, are there any comments or queries about those minutes? Are we content to sign? Yeah?
I can't comment.
Okay, if we now move on to, let me just take this out. Sorry, item 6. These are items of meeting which are referred to the Policy and Finance Committee. If we take, the first one is on page 5, which is the Accounts Working Party. Councillor Heritage chairs that party. I'll present the minutes on his behalf, and there is one resolution to recommend to the Policy and Finance Committee, which is point 9.5, and they are the investments made by the financial officer. Do we agree that the investments made by the financial officer be approved?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we make that unanimous? Okay. Are there any questions or about those minutes? Okay, if we move on to item 6.2, the minutes of the Risk Management Working Party. And can I ask Councillor Cooley, who chairs that party, to present any recommendations to the Policy and Finance Committee?
Thank you, Chair. Well, we did recommend to Council that the risk register was approved. That was approved at the Council meeting. There aren't any new recommendations from that, except that as a team we have to define the next meeting date. That's something we're going to do.
Okay, thank you. Any questions about the Risk Management Committee? No? Move on to item 7. And that's 7.1, these are the officer's report. So, page 9, the action package, you will see that the officers have completed all the actions and I'd like to congratulate them on that,
Particularly the boiler.
Yes.
which we're all very grateful.
So are we.
Any questions or comments on that? No? If we move to item 7.2, the forward work planner, there is an item, this is an ongoing document which is presented at every meeting. Any queries about this or comments? No?
No.
So if we move on then to item 7.3, the business plan 2017 to 20, and the report is attached. Are there any questions of content and understanding? So,
Sorry, Chair. Okay. It was just really on page 17, the list here. I didn't know whether that should include Christmas lights and the fact we talked about installing electric car charging points. And I don't really know whether that should be included in this list.
it could be.
And possibly on page 19, where it's got investing in our assets, which I think those two might well, or certainly the electric car charging point could possibly be within that. Just thought I'd raise those in case they were pertinent and should go somewhere.
Is that down to us or the district? We should have put those charging points in.
Yeah, there is a point of information. We didn't put them in because of there are changes to electric car charging points which are imminent. The suppliers are going to be moving to a new generation. Yeah. So if you invested in the existing generation, you'd be investing in obsolete technology. We have left that for the moment because the district council is monitoring that and is considering whether to have a rule or on district-wide as has said.
Not in relation to what I was going to talk about, but I was following on from your things, Councillor Will. I think that the Christmas light situation, it's been so important for the amount of people and the amount of commendations we've had for what was being done, and I feel that this must continue because I think our profile is considered hugely by what we've done so well, and we have in here, you see, a number of things like support for Harpenden Town Council, etc. And I would like to see something like continue a sensible policy of promoting whatever, choose a sensible wording, because I think what was done at that time is one of the best things we have done is has promoted our image in the town.
Yeah, well, I was actually just going to say on the Christmas lights. I mean, arguably, it's sort of covered under large-scale community events, but I think it is such a key element that it needs to be identified separately. And I agree that investing in our assets, because apart from anything else, they do need to have continuous investment in them, and also to make it clear that investment needs to be in Southdown and Batford as well, not just the town centre. So I think some wording to make sure we cover that. All of those areas would be sensible.
Yeah, I agree. I think the importance of the lights is that they are a large draw into the town, and they help that many retailers take a huge proportion of their revenue and profit in the run up to the Christmas period, and it's extremely supportive of us having a diverse and thriving retail community.
I've got 2 points. Through already. On page 16, just below those sort of block gaps, should you already mention there's an RFA? Responsible for them.
Sorry.
What's the responsible for financial officer? Does that need to mention somewhere in the end? I just think for completeness.
Yeah.
Who is it? Is it you? And And the other thing was, on page 19, investing in our assets 22, consider opportunities for devolution of land and estate management. I thought, is that to us or us to somebody else? Which way round is it?
It could be either way.
It can be either way. You see what I'm saying, though? Is it, are we handing away our assets, or is it?
It's probably going to be taken on.
Or acquiring?
It's acquired, yeah.
Does it need to be more specific on that?
I don't think we've got any land that we would want to sort of really sort of, because the stuff the areas we've got now, we've sort of...
It's acquisition.
Acquisition.
It doesn't really need rewording.
I was going to say, I wondered if it did need a little bit of clarification, because if this is seen, if this document will be a document of public record, I think that could actually cause a certain amount of, at very least, concern, because it could give out a signal that we were looking to dispose of assets. And I think I would look at the wording of that.
It's just the wording.
We could sell land for housing, couldn't we?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So I think wording to make it very clear that actually we're looking at taking on assets, not getting rid of them.
Because
I think that's really
sorry, on the selling point, we're looking at point 16, that's the selling off of land.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to say it twice. So devolution of land and estate management. I think it's and essentially it's a change of ownership from one public sector organisation to another.
Generally.
Yeah.
So have we amended the wording, is it?
I've made a note to change it.
Yeah.
Not so much. First of all, I would like to, I think, express a recommendation for the officers, the way they put this report together. I we're meeting to veg to me because I deal with business plans and advising to the enterprise agencies to do it for commercial purposes. But I think this has been such a well put together. It's not too long. It's very sensible, and I would like to record that I think it's an excellent document. Okay, we can make some of it, but there's one thing that does concern me a little bit. Well, and I just want to know how to deal with this. How strong will it be if, for example, I'll give you an example that worries me. Take promote on page 20. It says promote the vitality and viability of the town centre, of South Down, etc. Well, that is marvellous. But what if that clashes with other things, that other policies that we are supposed to comply with? For example, if we're complying with our 1994 policy plan, for example, which says, for example, take Southdown, you should only have so many A1 uses in certain frontages in the thing. Now, if as a council or numbers we fully believe that something will increase a change of use, for example, might increase the footfall and viability, therefore, of the area, and it has done in Southdown. I would just like to think that something could be said. Instead of saying a flat no, we can't do anything because the rule book says we can't, I'd just like to see something put in that, and you would obviously may disagree with me, and the point is just very quickly, it's just say, in its decision taking, the council will use every endeavour to take into account the principles expressed in the town's business plan, or something worth to say.
I think actually, Michael, that particular issue will be resolved through the neighbourhood plan.
Yes, that's where I can. That would be very. But even so, there may be. Okay, that compared to comply with the SLP, which is an overall.
I think the district council has already said that they're having a light touch on the detailed local plan, and particularly those in deferring decisions on policy to local neighbourhoods.
Well, I was trying to be very careful in the wording. Would take into account the principles expressed in the town's business plan. That there might be clashes, you see. And although I feel we'd be duty bound to follow the rule book if it does go through the SLP to the back of the plan and all the way through, I just feel that we should put something in to give us not to show that this is not.
Yeah.
It's can't be overridden just like that.
At the end of the day, this council will not make decisions on that. Any change of use will be sent to the district council. We can have an opinion and give that opinion to the district council.
Yes.
It will be sent to a committee. Councillor
I
Farmer.
was only going to point out, in practical terms, this has been the case in any way for years, because the existing 1994 plan, there have been quite a few planning applications that have come up
Yes.
that are change of use, and it's taken flexibly at the time by the planning committee at district, so I'm not sure it's really a huge issue.
It's not a big issue.
Fair enough.
Okay. Any other comments or queries? No? No? Okay, I think we don't particularly have an action on this, other than
Can I just add for members' benefit, this is a working document, so we're just gathering information at this stage. It will go to council review, so there will be another opportunity to review the documents at that point as well.
Right.
okay. So this committee will send that feedback.
With
back to
these
the
comments,
council.
yes.
Okay. Okay, if we move on to item 7.4, the pensions discretion policy. And any queries, comments?
No.
Chair, I've got a query on page 30. 30, forfeiture certificates. I partially understand it, but I'm not really. I just wonder if there could be a clarification at some stage of, what this is about.
My understanding is that it's if a member of staff has committed fraud in some way, and it's a way of recovering the money that he has stolen through fraud.
Oh, okay, because it just says certain offences, so fraud would have been one.
I think it's more than fraud.
Okay, more than fraud.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
There are, I think there's a number of issues that could fall into this, which is why so you go to Secretary of State for approval. It could be that you're in a job that you're dealing with vulnerable people, and there's been an incident. But at the same time, you've been paying a contribution to your employer. The employer might say, well, actually, you went against your contract of employment, why should we pay you a pension? So they put that case to the Secretary of State to review it.
Okay.
So there's a number of factors that could come into this category.
Thank you.
We're just approving something that's already there.
Yes, it's regulations as set out, the statutory
It first came
regulations.
in September, November 14, when it first came out, and this is just a review, as you know.
I mean, this is government regulation.
Yes.
Then I would say, we're allowed to do it as P&F, or should it go recommend to council?
If you're making no changes, it's just a review.
As you say, okay, if it's been exchanged, you think no reason why we can't sign it off?
Well, it has been signed off in the sense that council has approved it, and I'm saying is if you do make changes, then it really should go back to council. We're just going to
I don't intend to make any
leave
changes.
it as it is.
Yeah. Does anybody have any suggested changes?
It's quite heavy going, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
It wouldn't change anything that's set out by statutory regulation. No, I wouldn't change
it
it.
would be an interesting.
It would be an interesting development.
I think we'd be
So
stepping
we're-
into a minefield.
So we're happy to approve
Yes.
the local government pension scheme
Yes.
discretion policy. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item 7.5, freedom of information. And that is on page 35.
35.
Someone else where it's come from.
The freedom of information,
Yeah, no, the actual policy. Is it one we've got already?
it's one we've got already.
Can I share?
Yeah, sure.
I perhaps should have mentioned the last one. What we're doing as an officer group is going through all of our policies and procedures in place and reviewing them. And obviously they come to the respective standing committee that controls them. And the main reason behind it is that under the local council award scheme, they want us to put policies in place. So we're just doing a review process, and we're doing a few at a time because there's quite a few of them. So it's been like a rolling programme.
We have already debated this at council, I understand, and it was approved at council.
Yes, these have all been
I understand.
approved in the past.
Okay.
This is more of a point of information rather than a comment on the particular proposal here. So related to freedom of information is, I don't know if you know of the new policy that's called GDPR that's coming in 2018 from the European Union that will still be likely to have to comply with it post-Brexit, because the government said that they're going to adopt all these regulations as well. And a lot of it's to do with how much the information that you can get back from your so if you the board of the Town Council holds information on a certain person, they have to be able to access it and everything. And I just wondered if we are looking into a policy that in the past has perhaps it might come under the freedom of information policy that we'd be able to facilitate that. And
we already have policies on holding information about individuals, and there are a few words about it in here. But as a general point, we do not hold information about people because we do not provide services to individuals.
yeah,
So it wouldn't particularly pertain to us, unlike a district or a county council who provide services to the individuals, therefore will hold details about them.
it was just I'll say just because in this case it would also apply to employees of the council.
I think
So if they wanted the right to be forgotten, basically.
yeah. We need to wait and see what exactly is going to happen as a result of Brexit, because the Great Repeal Act will be implemented, and this may be one of the things that is repealed.
No, it's been interesting to see, but I just wanted to ask if that was part of the process, especially because it's been.
I think it's certainly something we have to keep apprised of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and if we can do that.
Yes.
A couple of questions. I couldn't see any reference to keeping the information from the inquirer confidential, and also what contact information someone has to provide who makes a request.
Yeah, okay. On your first point, they don't use the word confidential, they use exemptions. And it really comes on paragraph 2.3.3, where they talk about the types of exemptions that you can fall into and follow this process by. With regard to the information a requester submits, we just need their contact details basically. They can send it in by email, they can write into us, we can even get a phone call, which could fall under the umbrella of freedom of information.
Phone calls, you don't respond?
We don't, no. What we do is, if it's like that, we do say, please email or write into us. So we've got an official record of them submitting a request to us. The reason being is because of the timescale, the time frame that we must work within.
Do they have to provide an address and so on?
An email address is
Just an email
accessible,
address
yes.
is sufficient?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's actually, sorry, Councillor Powell, there's actually a website called What Do They Know, where many people, you go onto there, you can log on, you can make an inquiry, that goes through to the body, the Town Council, you respond to that email address, and then the Information Commission's office actually publishes that information.
Yes, I was just to say, actually, I think under 214, all it really says is that however you request that information, it must be in a format that can be kept, which is why a telephone call is not acceptable.
Okay, any other questions? Or? No? Are we happy to agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we just confirm that if we go back, we confirm we approve the policy and procedure as it states in the document. Okay, 7.6, the Freedom of Information Publication Scheme. You're being asked to approve the publication scheme attached to Appendix 1 and the charging policy attached to Appendix 2. Again, these are in line with the recommendations. Countrywide recommendations and guidance from that. And these have all been approved by Council in the past. Any comments or queries about these? No?
Yes, in fact, I think it's statutory.
Yes,
statutory.
So I can take it we approve the publication scheme as attached. Thank you. Can I have a show of hands on that? Just
and the charging policy statement.
and the charging policy.
Yeah.
Everybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, moving on to item 8.1, the first of the finance reports. There is a report attached and you're just being asked to note it, and it's the projected outcome for 2016-17. It reviews the budget for the current year and includes projections for year end. Does anybody have any queries about this? Any comments? No? Okay, so can we say that the committee can have a show of hands, the committee notes the report? Thank you. Moving on to item 8.2, Treasury Management and Investment Strategy. Again, we have been asked to review the report and advise the clerk of any proposed changes to the investment strategy. And subject to any changes, recommend to Council that the attached Treasury Management and Investment Strategy for 2017-18 be approved. Any queries? Comments? Issues? No? Okay, can I take it that we will recommend to Council that it be approved?
Yes.
Yeah, show of hands. Thank you.
Okay, now moving.
Okay. Well,
Just debating which door is best to go to. Probably that one.
Make way for members.
Sorry?
Make way for members.
call him there. Okay. I think we all know about the Harpenden Office. It's been an excellent initiative, started by residents, voted by Terry Heritage and was Councillors Heritage and Farmer, and financially supported by Councillors Heritage and Williams from their budget, which is spent on local items. They have come forward and asked us for a one-year commitment of $1,250 to support the hopper during its pilot year, and to approve the option of a 2-year extension providing that the pilot scheme is a success. We have been asked to allow the town clerk to draw up a new service level agreement to be signed off by the chair of this committee and the Harpenden Hopper team. First, I will ask if anybody has any questions.
Basically, it's just a side point really. There's, as the chairman of all the local parish councils, I would say they all were interested in this when it was reported by yourself at that meeting, SADLC, and they're very envious of this, and they're almost in the mood to copy it if they can do it. But they all felt this was a tremendous initiative.
Any other
comments? I think this is a fantastic initiative. I think it's exactly the kind of thing that we should be supporting as a town council, especially as it's helping people in the town who are less mobile than others to get around, especially with some of the lackings of some of the other bus services that we have. So I think, and especially I think for the amount that we're being asked to support it by, the £1,250, I think that's actually bargain, like really good value to help support the scheme.
I think it's very useful. We get a lot out of this. That's one question. It's 4.1 on page 60. Which includes the 1250 from the existing grant value. Is that the same as these grant applications?
Yes.
It's coming from there, isn't it?
Yes. They've not been spent yet. There is money left in that budget.
Yeah. I just wondered what's money left because we've got one here, but there's...
Well, this won't start till next 1st of April, so it officially come out.
The new cycle.
But it will come out of the general grants budget.
Okay. Any other comments or queries? No? Well, move to a vote then. We take 2.1. Do we approve a one-year commitment of $1,250 to support it?
Yes.
I think that's unanimous. Do we approve the option of a 2-year extension, providing the pilot scheme is a success?
Yeah.
Unanimous. And do we ask the town clerk to draw up a new service level agreement to be signed off by the chair of this committee and the Harpenden Hopper team? I think that's unanimous.
I think it's great.
It is.
Rosemary?
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 8.4. I will now vacate and ask
I'm not going to move those.
Chair.
I'll stay around.
And I will not take part in the discussion.
Basically, we'd normally do this for 3 years, wouldn't we? But we're doing it for 1 year because of the new leisure complex. It might be that they will be housed in the new building.
As it says in paragraph 3.4, there have been in discussion with the district council about the opportunity of sort of using an area within the new complex over there. So until the final details are known, we're just saying extend the existing arrangements for a year, and then we can see how things go and progress from there.
Yeah, probably next year we'll do the same thing again. Yeah, so
Well, I was going to say they do a very good job, and I'd be more than happy to support them.
Sounds straightforward to me.
Yeah.
Any other things? Yeah, I've dedicated small team.
Yes.
Without whom we wouldn't have any record of anything, would we? You know. Okay, I'm happy to, what we're doing, approving 1 year extension to the service level agreement with Harpenden District Local History Society covering 1st of April 2017 to 31st of March 2018. Those in favour? Yeah.
Well, that was nice and quick.
Yes. Anything else?
From that,
Okay.
We're done.
That's quick. And she's back in the room.
It's automatic.
Okay, if we move on to item 8.5, we have a grant application from Smiles, and they have asked for a grant of £240. Does everybody know what Smiles does?
No, I've read it, but I wasn't 100% sure what they...
Well, I'll give you some background which might be helpful. A local farmer has given them part of a field, basically, and they offer £1 shares to individuals who come, and they can either devote their time to working that field, or they can pay money, and you can do it one way or the other, or a combination. And they grow a wide range of vegetables. They have polytunnels to grow things like tomatoes and cucumbers, and they grow just a wide range of vegetables in the other areas. Every week in the growing season, they get a basket. Everybody who has contributed basically gets a box of vegetables in line with how much the ownership they have of it. It's a way of people on fairly modest incomes of improving their diet. It's completely organically grown, so they have high quality organic vegetables. It's a way for people to get out, get a bit of exercise, join in with like-minded people. And I believe it's been running for about 3 or 4 years now, so it's well established in the local community. So, any questions about it?
The particular farmer who does this, a man called Howard Roberts, he came to speak to a meeting, a breakfast, business breakfast type meeting, and he explained how that whole farm is going into organic things, and he actually mentioned what these people are doing, and I think he was quite complimentary about the way they're running their show, and I personally think the way it's going does seem to be, from those questions he was asked about, it does seem to be very good.
And it's completely not for profit. Nobody's making any profit from it.
I think it's great.
Completely voluntary activity. And it's a very modest amount they've asked for, so...
Any other
Fine.
questions about
So we're being completely blind and not seeing what the 200... Oh, okay, right,
Yeah,
it's all
it's
compost
familiar.
manure. Yeah, that's fine.
I was looking for that as well.
Yes.
the compost? So, questions? Yeah?
Sorry, mine was as a comment. I think it sounds very worthwhile.
Yeah, I think
No, yeah, I agree. Although actually, just as a point, aside from this actually, my mum probably knows loads of guys who has like 10 different horses, and they probably get it free from him.
But,
Yeah.
no, I think this sends out the right message to the community as well of what we're doing, and I think it's the right thing to
Yeah, I
do.
think this sort of sustainable
Yeah.
activity should be supported.
Yeah.
Okay, can I go to a vote? Yeah? So,
Well, before we close the meeting, can I go back on page 64?
sure.
Under funding, halfway down the page. Are those dates right? Should it be April 2017, March 2018? Shouldn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. So I had it turned up, but no, it's fine.
Probably last week. A few seconds. I'm supported.
Back to you.
Thanks. Okay, and that's it. There is no exempt business. So thank you very much, colleagues, and we finish at 8:06.